Hi, this is Mr. Tim. We've got another fun book tonight. It's called A House Full of Cats by Kitty Higgins. Miss Durbin and Trusty MacGyver, her dog, lived in a cabin of red cedar logs. And in that cabin, where those two hung their hats, you would find 200 plus 4 happy cats. The townspeople buzzed at the great lack of space that this lady and doggie had at their place. It was said that MacGyver couldn't even stretch out because of the number of cats all about. There were cats in the pantry, cats in the hall, cats on the bookshelves hung on the wall, cats in the closets under the bed, cats of lovely colors, brown, gray, white, and red. So many Miss Durbin could not sweep the floor without sweeping her cats right out the door. Each day at the well, when she dropped down her pail, she pulled up 6 cats, each one by its tail. And MacGyver each day rose from his bed and shook off the kittens that slept on his bed. They'd jump on his back and hang on for a ride, though quite a few frequently slipped down his side. Then off to the barn to get cream for the cats Miss Durbin would go, while the cats would chase rats. Sometimes she would squirt the milk into the air, and cats would come running to catch their fair share. By the time 204 had a turn, there was not enough milk to put in the churn. But Miss Durbin just smiled. She was happy to see that she had some milk to pour in her tea. The people in town spoke of nothing much more when they met each day at the general store. Together they swore that it didn't seem right to have all those cats in the house day and night. The loudest of voices to be overheard was Corabelle Iverson Andrew the Third's. She never did fail to make good things a mess, with her always bad mood and gossipiness. Imagine the noise when they all start to purr, and the terrible mess when they shed their long fur. There should be a law against cats all around. They need to be put in the county cat pound. In fact, I'll go out there this very same day and see that those cats are soon taken away. But even the gossips didn't think that was fair, yet no one spoke up. No one would dare. So Corabelle left in a big cloud of dust, determined to prove her cause noble and just. When MacGyver saw her later that morning, he ran to the cabin, barking a warning. All the cats ran for cover beneath the front stairs, over the rooftop and under the chairs. 31 went up the chimney like smoke. The ash and the soot made it hard not to choke. Corabelle gave MacGyver her meanest cold stare as all the cats vanished into the thin air. Now you stop barking, she scolded the hound. It's not only cats that can go to the pound. She went to the doorbell and gave it a ring, unprepared for the shock that this visit would bring. Miss Durbin walked calmly to answer her door, adjusting the apron of cats that she wore. She took her guest coat and went to the rack that was made up of cats piled in a neat stack. Nearby on the mantel there stood on display 12 cats sitting silent like statues of clay. The round braided rug on the living room floor was 9 woven cats, no less and no more. Now where are those kittens? Asked Cora the third. But I have only one, Miss Durbin did purr. Then out of the basket that sat at her feet stepped a single white cat, so tiny and sweet. Without wasting a second, it was on Cora's dress, shedding its fur, making one great big mess. When Cora jumped up, the cat flew off her lap, and all it had wanted was an afternoon nap. Then, without so much as a farewell nod, Miss Cora gathered her coat into a wad. I know you have cats here and not just a few. I know you have cats here and not just a few. What you did with them, well, I wish that I knew. If you chose to keep pets, I guess I can't stop you, but there ought to be laws. So keep your darn cats, 'cause I'll never be back, but I think your life here is way out of whack. Then off went that Corabelle Andrew the Third, and that was the last of her Miss Durbin herd. Miss Durbin and faithful MacGyver, her dog, lived in a cabin of red cedar logs. In winter, when there was a cold winter storm, guess how the two of them always stayed warm?